So let's talk about something incredible I've done within the last 2 months or so of having this tank set up. Um, so my 400 litre tank went for a never rescape about 2 months back now, and the main big reason why I did it, end up doing it, is because I moved all the tropical fish that was in this tank into the actual tropical tank. That tank's going to remake over soon. That's not a spoiler for anything. The other thing is I wanted to have Goldfish tank again, and I wanted to do it with a different style, a different mind, a different set that I just don't think that is possibly, I want to say it's not possibly, but possibly could be done, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. So like enough for me, I already have had previous experience making a Goldfish tank like this with a Goldfish tank with plants as well as mixed with other different species of fish. So I've done this in the past. This is like my third, I want to say this is my third tank since I've trying this with Goldfish with plants and Goldfish with other fish. This is really just like a question is, can you have a tank that can be like that? And the answer is yeah, you can. Which shockingly. So I didn't record any of the setup for this tank. Now a good chunk of that reason was because this tank took me all day to design. I was trying to figure out an idea that I was going to enjoy. The smaller fish was going to feel comfortable around the bigger goldfish. The some of the fish which I want to breed, so something like the pond minnows are going here, I want them to breed in here at some point further down the line, as well as once I get around some hill stream lunches, I also want them to breed in this tank as well. Same again with the goldfish and any other fish that feels comfortable in this tank. I want them to breed essentially at some point for this tank. Designing something like this might on camera might just look something stupid and it's simple, but generally I wanted to make a comfort zone and as well as something that was still enough swimming space for all the goldfish in this tank. Currently we got 7 goldfish. I kind of do have plans to give it to the Shebunkin and the Panda and Comet into one of my ponds at some point and just make this just a fancy tank. And I might even think about moving the walk-ins over into the pond and just having this then as a fancy tank and having a walk-in pond instead of having a walk-in tank. That's what I'm currently thinking. I originally was thinking about walking goldfish, as I do love walking goldfish more, but now as I got a couple of fancies new, I quite like it just having a bit fancy looking. Yes, I think my plan is further down the line is to get rid of the walk-ins and put them in a pond and have a walk-in pond and have a fancy indoor tank instead. That's something down the line which I'm kind of thinking, but right now I'm quite happy with it being a mix of different type of goldfish. It shouldn't really ideally mix commons with fancies, but I have done it before and it's worked out really well, and this time around it's also working out. So yeah, so some of the smaller fish species I got in here is some pill Daniels. I didn't want any zebra Daniels this time around. I wanted to have some different. I never had pill Daniels, so these guys are different as well as they just kind of look kind of natural and nice looking for this tank. Got some white cloud minnows. Maybe I should have went for the cloud minnows. They would look a bit more natural, but as at that point in time I had the Daniels as well as the pond minnows. I was kind of like, well, you know, let's have some white. Might get some cloud minnows down the line, and we'd be alright. The other fish species I got in as well is some rice fish. I got some blacks and some whites. I think we got 8 blacks and 4 whites, if I'm right to go together. We got in here. We got some koi doras, we got some bronze cories, and a pep. Well, we got 1 bronze cory and 3 peppers. Either 3 or 4 peppers. The goldfish again don't really seem to care about the peppers They don't care about the cories. And the cories don't seem to care about the goldfish. Never really had a problem with goldfish and cory. Some cold water platies as well. These platies are long fin platies. They are cold water. They are generally just something a bit nice to have in the tank, especially at the moment I only got 3 and I'm planning to get more of them as well for the aquarium. And obviously then we got some goldfish babies as well. Goldfish babies are my babies which I waited last year. And the main reason why they are in this aquarium is because I did add some skittlebacks in here, and the skittlebacks were fighting against the other fish, so I ended up moving them out, giving them a tank of their own. And sadly the goldfish fry were in that tank, in the Skittleback, well, now the Skittleback tank. I've now come into this tank just because it just makes things a lot more easier, and I didn't have room to set up another tank for the goldfish fry. So the goldfish fry seem to be doing really well, especially the bigger two I got. They just seem to be loving it out. The bigger three I got, they seem to be loving to be out and about with the adults, and then some of the smaller guys will tend to hide around more around the plant area, which that's the whole point around the plants, is to make these smaller fish feel comfortable and happy enough to live in this aquarium. That's the whole point which I want. For the plants I currently got on here is some Amazon swords. Them were just like a tester. I want to see how well they do with cold water. But at the moment they seem to be doing absolutely fine. There's a bit of dieback, but I think once the dieback dies back, and then we cut back, and then they should hopefully grow and adjust being a little bit colder. They seem to be doing alright. It's just one of those things to try. We got a lot of pollen oxygenator plants. I know there's a proper name for them, but that's just what I like to call them. Them are thriving. Every single one of them is growing really well. They're growing like every single day at this point in time, and they just seem to be doing absolutely well. The other plants that I got in here is Nubius and Dafyd. They are quite a hardy plant to drip for goldfish, so that's definitely another plant I definitely recommend. And obviously we've got some Valis. We've got some small Valis at the moment. We don't have any big Valis, which that is next on my list. I want to get some big Valis towards the back of the tank. I don't want to see like the background as such. I just want it just covered, so especially around like the structure area, so it makes it feel like, oh, that tank doesn't end, you know what I mean? That's the kind of point which I want from that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it I want to say about this tank. I will leave some B-roll towards the end of the video so you guys can enjoy fish swimming around, enjoying their times of their life, and you can see how they react around the ornaments, how they react around each other, around the tank itself, and how they react with the plants. So I'll leave that B-roll up for you now. I'll leave about a minute or so, and you guys can enjoy that minute piece without me talking. Bye for now.